Hi, how are you?
Nani?
Okay. Alright, so hopefully, once we're done with case 3, we put a major dent in the third game of Ace Attorney. How's it going, James? Hope you've been well, hope you've been well. The trials and tribulations of a Kui French Armstrong. Nice slow Sunday. Yeah, I like things nice and slow. Just like a really amazing pot roast. A tenderloin. As well. Yeah, indeed, my dude. Indeed. Very much indeed. Okay, maybe I'll go ahead and get some... Ooh, Flying Rogue. That's actually pretty good. I'll take those. I think I'll get some Stream Raiders started so that way we can get some peeps involved in helping us in our campaign in the meantime. I accidentally bumped my camera. My bad. What else have you been up to lately, James? Oh yeah, James, not so sure if you visited my my teapot yet. I think I just crafted like 2 more thingies. But otherwise, I don't think I'm going to be using the potions. I'm not really in a rush to actually get my trust rank up in the housing system. We also make sure that stuff is moved to my second monitor. Apparently, I sent in a support ticket for Genshin Impact about my cursor drifting and everything. They have no idea that kind of thing can happen, so I need to figure out a way to record both my monitors to get them to show them that this is a very, very specific issue that I may not be the only person that may be experiencing the problem with. Especially since I need to like show them that it doesn't matter if the game is windowed or full screen, it can happen to anybody. Sounds like a plan, my dude. Sounds like a plan. Okay, which way are we going? I mean, we could go for the gold, but low-key I might want to go for the skin. I think we'll probably get enough money along the way in order to get some gold to back us up. So I think I'll start over here and then let's see. So there's only 1 gold chest no matter which way I go. So if we go entirely north, we're just going entirely north to begin with. Well, the first level is easy anyway, so I don't really expect much of anybody to... As long as every one of these dudes are level 1, we should be just fine. Oh, he's a flying rogue. Okay, anybody who could drop in their troopers might as well start doing so now. So apparently I looked ahead for a little bit to see what the heck we're going to be doing for these final cases. I think the only ones that haven't been in on the witness stand primarily have been the chef and the tiger dude. So we just gotta finish questioning them and then we should be good to go. Yeah, let me turn this off real quick, and then so we can turn this on. Boy, oh boy, can I not wait to get back into Persona. Wait, who's online right now? I feel like my Persona journey is just going to be a really long one, but it's fine. Ah, this dude's playing Cave Story. because I know after I finish New Game Plus and Persona 3 Fez, I'm going to be going into. I'm still keeping an eye on if there is a affordable, a decent discount for Persona 4 Golden on Steam. Because I definitely want to get into that version of Persona. It's probably the most definitive, not handheld version of Persona 4. Especially when I was in high school, Persona 4 was a definitive popular video game title for people to play. Oh boy. It is such a really interesting series to get sucked into, but it's a really good RPG series to get sucked into. Now, I know a lot of people will always be out there with their visual novels and stuff saying, oh, this is the best game ever, this is the best game ever, this is the best game ever. I'm still firm and standing that that there really isn't really much of a thing called a best game ever, but a person saying that their favorite game is the best game ever is them being passionate about defending their favorite game, and that's totally fine. But it's not going to be everybody's like favorite, nor is it going to be considered everybody's quote-unquote best game ever. That's why lists exist. No matter what, you can't consider a game to be called the quote-unquote best game ever just because, again, it's your favorite game. But also at the same time, you're not alone in saying that your favorite game is what you personally consider your best game ever. You just genuinely enjoy the game for what it is in comparison to anything else that you've tried before. And that's perfectly fine. That's like a major quote kind of thing, but that's something I notice a lot of people on Twitch that they do regarding retro games, you know? Because there's a lot of retro games that hits you real hard in the nostalgic gut. And that's something about it when you play it for the first time will actually really grab at your I'm just literally grabbing words out of thin air. They will grab at your gamer spirit or something like that and make you feel so captivated to it. Which is the case for a lot of visual novels like Danganronpa, this game series, Gyakuten Saiban, or Ace Attorney, the Telltale series, or anything else, because there are people who hit it home better as a gamer with visual novels than your typical action game, than your typical multiplayer shooter nowadays. Everybody has their own taste in games. Some people like to be a bit more open and flexible, like me. Some people are just rather restrictive and very picky and they only have specific preferences as to what kind of games they do genuinely enjoy and consider their quote-unquote favorite or best video game ever. So, while I will agree with some people that some people's quote-unquote best game ever is a really good game, and it has positives and stuff, that doesn't mean that every so-called best game ever is a flawless game. Because no matter what, every video game in existence will at least have some kind of flaw that will not completely be in agreement with everybody's with everybody's preference. Here we go. Put the barbarian down. Hey, what's up, 24 inches? Hope you've been doing well. It's been a hot minute. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court Defend Lobby number 1. Maybe back in the day I could have gotten like the original DS games and just have the original cartridges, but the main concern is that they might be lacking some UI features that this trilogy port has. In addition, it's just 3 cartridges less for me to stuff in my current library of DS games right now. I literally have a physical DS bag and a physical 3DS bags full of cartridges that I used to, that were previously purchased before, but now all of the stuff that I get is digital, and I can literally modify any micro SD card I have to put any game on it once I find the opportunity to do so, because I need some time to do that. And that's very true, James. That's very true. Everybody has, in any case, a lot of people just have their favorite games nowadays, especially in the retro library, and that's very appreciated and commendable and really amazing, because a lot of love is needed for a bunch of retro games that deserve some level of recognition. Doing well yourself? I'm just hanging in there, trying to stay hydrated. I had my second dose over the week, and I'm mostly recovered. I'm just usually tired, so I try my best to have some sugar. Because the sugar will give me energy. Caffeine will just not make me sleep. See, I can crash from sugar, but with caffeine, I stay up for like way too long, and then I just crash way too hard. So it's either I take the crash from the sugar, or I just pass out from long periods of being caffeinated. Well, I gotta pick my poison. MSG is just sodium. Well, that's true. Well, then again, it's kind of part sugar as well, because it's called monosodium glutamate. 1 part salt. Glutamate is sugar, in a way.
Good morning, Mr. Raid. Oh, good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, Miss Sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery.
By yesterday, I mean, this meant like maybe where I last left off in this case, probably like 2 to 3 days ago. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet.
Are you okay, Nick?
Are you okay? Says Terry. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are we okay? That's a good question. I believe I am okay now. Bum, 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 bum. Huh? Oh, yeah, of course.
I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes.
No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination.
Why do I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
Hey, pal. Oh, hey, Detective Gumshoe. Gonna try my best to stay hydrated.
Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that.
How did you know she was stressed? Oh, shoot, we still have the lunchbox here. Is it well preserved or something?
I was watching through the doorway.
Oh.
You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help.
Huh? Have you taken up an aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me they don't remember this thing.
Come to think of it, it doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. Oh, is this the ear med?
This is the small bottle that turned up in Beyond's kitchen a couple days ago.
Wow, look at all these little bottles.
Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor.
Hey, wait a minute. Shut the mate. There's one bottle that's different from all the others.
Well, what do you know? It doesn't have a label either.
And it doesn't smell.
We finally got the analysis results back from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison?
I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Medication?
Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently.
For ears? You mean...
Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum.
What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Oh, okay, the chef likes to steal stuff. What's this case about? Oh, somebody died due to poisoning, and apparently, someone dressed up as the protagonist and, lost the case on purpose. So, the real protagonist just got back from vacation, and, we're having a retrial of the murder suspect, and we're defending someone who's already got a guilty verdict. Can you also believe that this series is also by the same company that makes Resident Evil 24? This very same company, just different staff, but all under the same company, like Street Fighter. And Mega Man, of course. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that?
Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour, they might have gotten something on the prints, but...
That's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence.
Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it?
Thankfully, you came at a time when we don't have to do so much reading, but we can mostly do the main part of the game that gets a lot of people's attentions. And brain power, of course. Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright, but Shin Eop. I mean, what? So the court system that's being followed in this game is based off the Japanese court system in a way. This is actually a bench trial. So you might be familiar with the American court system in which a verdict is determined by a jury. In this case, it's a bench trial, which means the judge gets to decide the verdict. You still have a lawyer and a prosecutor. It's mostly murder cases we're dealing with. If it's a non-murder case, of course, you have the plaintiff and etc., etc. But in this kind of scenario, we're mostly being the defense attorney, and we're going up against a specific prosecutor in most of the cases that we deal with. January 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the retrial of Maggie Bird.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ready and waiting, as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Ode Giza Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed a defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him ineffectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, is the world, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules.
I honestly never heard of that kind of system either, because the most court cases I know are determined by a jury. Ooh. Ooh. I got noticed by a VTuber on Twitch. Wait a minute. Oh, hello. Actually, yeah. Let me see. Is the bench trial system like a system that's still used today? I don't. Okay, it still looks like that a bench trial is still a procedure in this day and age. It seems like, and it looks like a trial system that's also done in the UK. And in the United States, I'm like even though I'm looking at Wikipedia right now, it's usually the trial by jury under the Sixth Amendment. Huh, interesting. There's actually an interesting article about like the bench trial that anybody can probably read. Hey Liam, thank you for the epic by Barbarian, by the way. But it's still a practice in court that's used in this day and age.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old geezer wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it. Very well, let the first witness take the stand.
Oh god, not you.
And you are?
Oh, bonjour everyone! I'm Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of the Turnabout restaurant. Enchanté!
Forgive me if I ask a witness, but are you a woman?
Oh la la, monsieur, as you can see, I'm le père and le petit gentleman, no?
On the day of the incident, you were at Turnabout's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur. Everything feels right.
Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy?
Very well, your testimony please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Turnabout.
Oui, volontiers.
Alright, so in the court, we have to read every witness's testimony. And then as the attorney who is defending the client, we have to look back at the testimony and see if we can find a contradiction in it. If we can't find a contradiction, then all we could do is press the witness for more information regarding a piece of regarding a piece of testimony. So they either will say something that does not match what we have in the evidence, or we don't have enough information to even say there's a contradiction.
When it all happened, there were just two customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with the new articles that day, like having a large meal between la tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. A couple of earpiece and glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
A mirror?
Oui, a grand mirror. The most enormous mirror.
I didn't see a mirror. We only saw windows.
And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay, so this is where I have to look at what he's saying and see if nothing adds up. Otherwise, if I'm done looking at his entire piece of testimony, the protagonist or his assistant can provide something that is a hint to what is wrong with the testimony, or your next course of action, which is what I like to do a lot. It's kind of hard to believe everything is the fault of a mirror, but
Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection?
if he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper.
Hold on, let's save first. I like how this game allows us to save every once or so while. Let's see here. Okay, so when the murder happened, there were just two customers. Remember he was experimenting with some new art decoration, like having a large mirror, for example. Perhaps that was what the old man was looking at? Let's see. Let's look at the crime photo real quick. It's very tiny because I literally have a capture card, so... I would not say that this is... There's a mirror. I don't want to present evidence right away because it feels way too quick to present evidence. Let's double check. And who were the two customers exactly?
My, of course. The young man who died. And the other, not so young man.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume?
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Of something about 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high.
Let's see, if 1 meter's about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame, that's huge! Or as we say around here, that's...
Extra thick!
I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
I know, I decided to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror? If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
Objection!
You didn't ask, Trite. You have only yourself to blame for such a sloppy work.
What?
A mirror was delivered to Turnabout the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. As it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Turnabout, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Hold it!
Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Objection!
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Eh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Right? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-notch chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with a mask over here? Well, Trite?
Ack, not the hair. I do not have a top knot.
Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Yum. Logic is one a day.
Wait a minute. This is new.
La couple earpiece and la glasses. You would have seen everything in reverse, no?
I'm not going to present evidence to this statement. I want to see what he says in regards to what the heck he said here.
Hold it!
Mate. Everything? You would have seen everything in reverse?
Oui.
Hey Nick, we should take a second and think about what old CD said in his testimony.
How did he phrase it again?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can look me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right. Huh.
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess, or does it?
Huh.
It's kind of hard to believe. The only thing we can show is the crime scene photo, I guess.
Objection!
If the music did not stop, that means we didn't present the correct evidence. However, maybe we need to present a picture of the murder victim, because he said the cup, the earpiece, and glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse. But how can the dude say that though? Let's take a look.
Objection!
Yeah, there we go. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over to Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
The boy was wearing this earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt.
Okay, so my second answer was correct. So to summarize, we are told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all of that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no?
Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it now that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head?
Order! Order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection!
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee, or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? Remember this, I presume?
The I broke the vase sorry apology Mr. Kudo's quote-unquote sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And that's what the most striking thing about. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elk? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elk's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Well, trite. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Good. Godot's good.
Was I supposed to impersonate the old man? It's so good. Not like it will matter anyway.
Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the older man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court we're all ears. No pun intended.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant.
Okay, before we begin with this testimony, there's a lot of money we got here. Let's go ahead and get some stream raiders going. So, the first level is easy though, so we should be just fine with it. We should be just fine. The next levels that we'll be doing will increase in difficulty, and I think I'm going to try to be gutsy and go for the skin again. $10 units? I think we'll be fine with 10 units, honestly. Okay, we got Leon, we got Maffy, we got Elzella, and the Alchemist here on the field. Let's see what happens now. I think we can go ahead and make haste. Let's do this thing. Okay. Leon has landed the most kills with 20 kills. Maffy has landed 10 kills. Alchemist has landed 4 assists and 2 kills. They landed 4 kills. Elzella has landed 2 kills. We'll give this one to Leon first. Okay, perfect. So the next level is going to be this one, and given the direction we're going, it looks like we're going to be going completely north. So this should be another easy level for us to do. Let's see here. I don't think I need to put a Centurion yet, but I do need to put 2 Centurions for now. Orc Engineer. I think I'll put a Buster for now. So that means everybody else who puts units down this level needs to do some work. Bum, 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 bum. Right, can I get rewards yet? Okay, not yet. Not yet. It's okay. We'll just be patient. Patience is key. Man, the scrolls reset really fast, too. Oh shoot, my archer's almost level 20. I'm about to have a level 20 archer real soon. Okay, now what is it about this mirror that we're talking about? Hey, thank you for the epic Nightmare Warrior, Maffy.
Hello, is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the 2 halves.
Okay, that's BS.
There's only one seat in which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat as the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirrors so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
There's 2 pieces wrong with this testimony. There's more than one mistake in this testimony. We're about to pick this apart.
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. For the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Isn't it supposed to be croquette, not coquette? Hold on, is that an actual word? Because I know croquette is a type of food. Is that even a word? It is a word. Oh, okay. That's a very interesting word. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out a cold sweat over there again.
Ugh, I hate that guy.
He said he didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteers, of course.
Volong. I think it should be Volong or something like that. Volong.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
Hey, thank you for the adding in troopers as well, 24 inches. You know we like 24 inches of goodness, alright.
It's pretty strange, though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old Seedy.
Then the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside that day. Now I just gotta prove it, somehow. The only thing we can prove, probably, is with the... Well, here's the floor plans. No mirror was present in the floor plans. And in the crime photo, the scene was taken near the kitchen, but if there was a mirror, it would have been visible in the photo. But the question is, where do we present the photo? Let's take a look. Whew. I got some brain juice, but I want to make sure that we really can put our brain juice forward. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hold it!
So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat?
Mine, monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. La victim would have been reflected in la mirror like so. If you were sitting in at la table next to him, you would see everything, no?
So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting in that day. When the poisoning happened.
The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim? Why does that seem kind of odd? Ah, ha, ha, ha. That's the hint. Okay, let's see if this is where we present the picture.
Objection!
Yes! My brain power's on point. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo?
Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself trite. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
Oh! The old man said he broke his vase. So why is there a vase here at this table, if the chef is claiming this is where the old man sat? I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture.
The vase? What possible connection does this have to do with the witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. His testimony says when the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Gomenasai. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. The seats are the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this connection, from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Three Beyond that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Mon Dieu!
Objection!
Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Objection!
Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. There he goes drinking his coffee.
Hello, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we'd return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he could not hear? Huh. You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back.
Oh, is this a...
If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, it'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Okay, at least we established something. At least the text gave us a major hint as to where we need to present evidence, so that really helped. That really helped me.
Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple.
He made a mistake?
Clearly, Mr. Kudo made a mistake.
Mr. Trite, you're the one who brought up all these contradictions.
And?
If you're trying to tell us the old geezer just made a mistake, we can wrap up this case right now with a guilty verdict. How about it, Mr. Wright? Should I just declare your client guilty?
Is that the best you can come up with, Nick?
Nope.
Oh. The second answer. The ear doctor made a mistake. Or is it? It feels weird to say that, though. Because supposedly, if you wear an earpiece on the ear that you also have, like, a scouter for, because his manager, his boss, does the same thing, then... Oh, the doctor made a mistake. I believe we're looking at this the wrong way. It was actually the doctor's mistake.
What?
Yes, the doctor got the wrong ear.
Objection!
Well, I believe we saw an autopsy report yesterday. One that stated the victim's left eardrum was ruptured and had medicine in it. I'm beginning to wonder if it's not your eardrum that's ruptured, Mr. Wright.
Oh, wait, the victim was a phony? Wait, on what basis are we saying the victim is a phony? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. On what basis? Okay. I know we're in the shoes of the main character, the protagonist, but we need an actual explanation. How is the victim a fake? This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kuda witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, the quote-unquote victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there's nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. right? This is becoming outrageous now.
Order! Order in the court! Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Tried, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What'd you say? Trite, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yep. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elgin acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a quote-unquote witness out of the one Mr. Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The one thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show quote-unquote Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's store was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. How would he would have noticed what was happening? That's right. Well, listen, witness. If your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Ooh la la, this is most difficult for me.
Objection!
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at 3 Beyond that day? The defense demands that the witness tell the whole truth about what happened.
Defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Ooh, oui.
Well, at least we're getting somewhere.
The victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mon Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted these mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination.
I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh?
Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refused to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all.
But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Huh. You mean that's when the phony staged act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Okay, so I was going to talk about the autopsy report because the autopsy report can give us details as to how, when, and whatever the victim died from, but it doesn't say like whether the effect of the poison was immediate. It says died of potassium cyanide poisoning between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. So that's not going to help us, obviously. Let's question the last two statements. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked the old man to call from the payphone.
By your own argument, trite. The purpose of this phony's victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed.
Bill, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted. Ne sais pas.
Hi, how are you?
Hello there, Kiba. And what were you doing at that point? Thank you for the host, I appreciate it as always. Oh, let's also give you a quick shout out while we're at it. We're slowly but surely progressing in this final trial of this third case of this game. Without any customers, he must have had time to kill.
I'm a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry, what do you mean?
There is the renowned chef Jean Armstrong and the tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem. An angry tale of a chef and $500,000 of debt. Cookie for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I can recite it for a court.
Please don't. Did you see him?
No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000."
Presumably the defendant heard that too, then, correct?
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
What about Mr. Kudo?
The alderman choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat.
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
Yeah, that's true. This is the third time we're cross-examining this interesting chef. So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim.
Objection.
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, trite? Never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant. We are wasting our time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee if you catch my drift.
But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. There was no time? It's the last two statements.
Objection.
Okay, I knew the autopsy report was not gonna work, even though, like, literally there's a 1-hour interval in between. Maybe the autopsy report needs to be presented for the last statement. The time of death was the real time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30.
Objection!
Or not. I played this game way too much to know that if the music does not stop, that means we do not have the right answer. During cross-examination, of course.
Hold it!
The hole lies in either the second to last statement here or this very last statement. Or it might be obvious here that he said there was no time for a phony to do the acting, in which that contradicts one of our pieces of evidence. So it has to be something that contradicts the last statement. He said there's no time for anyone to do the acting, but clearly there is. Maybe... Oh... Do we present the old man's...
Objection!
Nope, it's not correct either. I thought presenting the old man's profile would make sense, but then I realized... We're trying to establish that the old man saw a phony act in front of him. A phony murder. And the old man, was sent to... What is it? He was sent to call the police right after he witnessed the fake murder. So the autopsy report did not mention a single thing. Does not help us at all. Oh, maybe this flyer can help. Experience the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life every month. Oh.
Hold it!
Here's the only other thing that could happen. See, the lottery ticket was found on our client. So...
Objection!
No, it's too soon to establish that. But that's something else that's wrong with the testimony. I don't want to exactly look up a guide for this, but I feel like half the times when I don't know the answer, I need to look up the answer on the internet. But so far, we've been doing okay. But there's just way too many things wrong with what this guy is saying. Way too many things that's wrong, but we're presenting stuff at the wrong time. I think what we need to establish right now is that there is an opportunity for a fake murder to happen. You at your PC right now, Kiva? Okay, before we figure this out, let's do some stream raiders real quick. Might as well get our chests in the meantime, too. I'll probably have to look up the answer for this one if we're going to speed things up a little bit, because I don't think my brain can figure it out on its own. And nobody who's played this game before is here either. Oh, I killed 10 orcs. Hey, give me the tank scrolls. I don't want to upgrade the tank right away. If anything, I need to upgrade my Buster and my Centurion. 15 units, that's perfectly fine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make sure you guys are boosted and stuff. Let's get this going.
Boy.
Oh, anyways, 8 kills with Maffy, 7 kills with Leon, Brush for Hire with 5, 24 with 2, me with 1. Alright, Maffy, since you landed the most kills, what would you like to do with the Archer Scrolls? Would you like to accept them, or would you like to random them? Or actually, I could just give them to 24. Let me also turn the music back on while we select the next level. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the treasure trove. This is going to be difficult. What do we have over here? Ooh, I do not like the looks of this, folks. That's a lot of busters down here. Okay, so the bottom part is full of busters, so let's focus on going through the top over here, actually. There's only 3 busters in comparison to a lot of busters down here. So... ooh, I do not like the looks of that. I don't know if it's a good idea to go down there, Leon. Yeah, possibly, Kiba. Possibly. Oh, shoot, I need to place down 3 battle plans. Yeah, let me do that as soon as I figure out a unit we can do. We'll probably have to do a bunch of ranged, honestly. And flying rogues and whatnot, so... Yikes. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Wait, no. Too much. Hey, thank you for the epic artillery, brush for hire. Alright, this might work. Did I actually press on this statement yet? By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for me special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome any time.
I said it was worth one sip, nothing more.
So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant the same time as the victim. Maybe I should just ask about his arrival. Thank you for the epic archer, 24. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of very scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
My incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Si bien. That's French, isn't it?
Glad at least one person's in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
Okay, the old man arrived not long after, just after 2 p.m.? Okay, so we can present evidence to this. I want to present evidence on the last statement, but maybe we'll do this one first. No, not the autopsy report. Nope. Nope. Maybe it's the radio flyer because the radio, the lottery radio happens at 1:30 p.m.
Objection!
There we go. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be la show mon Elg was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I'm sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving a lunch menu.
Get to the point, Trite, if you have one.
That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30.
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
No.
This victim, what we've been told about, has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. The quote-unquote victim was an imposter, dun dun dun, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elks in Turnabout that day. The real Glen Elk, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony one acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
What a performance, Trite, you're almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this, Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your quote-unquote imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elk is?
I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court, however, at that time, the real Glen Elk was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
What?
Now, presume you can prove this theory of yours? Can you explain where the missing corpse went to?
The missing corpse?
According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. That quote-unquote customer was the phony Glen Elk. Then where did the real killer hide the body of the real victim?
Narg!
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Because obviously, they took the clothes from the real body, but then, where is the actual body? Was it ever found? It was never reported to have been found, I think. Unless, how did they get the autopsy report? Yes, Your Honor.
No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden.
Evidence?
Yo, what's with the intense pressure here all of a sudden?
I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence.
He's a Soul Reaper walk lightly?
First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed?
It wouldn't have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Turnabout.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
The exact location where the body was concealed was...
It has to be the kitchen. Like, if you leave a body, someone could easily notice a piece of body under the table, so it has to be in the kitchen.
Take that!
The body was hidden here.
I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
Oh!
Take that!
That makes sense. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? That's why this bottle was in the kitchen. I was like, wait a minute. Now, we know, from what we've learned in the investigations, the chef has a tendency to steal things from his customers. So how the heck did he get did this bottle end up in this kitchen? Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me. For moi.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Turnabout.
Quoi? I'll never use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited otolaryngological clinic. That's a very complicated word, but it means ear doctor, and was given medication that day. Actually, it's a pipes doctor. Like your larynx, that's like where that's in your throat, and everything else is like for the ear and stuff.
You can't be serious.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Glenn Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu!
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body, making you an accomplice, mister. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No!
Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk?
Never! I could never not do such an horrible thing.
No! Mr. Godot? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules.
Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now?
And I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend?
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me.
Oh, like you? You're the like it is a trap? And also, isn't por favor Spanish? You're French. Why are you speaking Spanish?
No hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
No, absolutely no. I
Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel.
Yeah, this dude is going to be charged with perjury already. He is already in debt of a lot of money, so he is screwed either way.
Oui, it is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh my god, at least you didn't say it out loud. I said it out loud, but at least you thought it.
Very well, begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
Okay, looks like the first half of this is about to be wrapped up. Oh boy, oh boy.
It's true, I ate the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question, then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was another man.
I knew it. Oh my god, I literally just said that before the text popped up. That was terrific.
Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer.
He's already confessed this much, you might as well stop dancing around the real issue.
Yeah, but he doesn't really want us to tell us who the killer is.
Then suck it to him, Nick.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It's a matter of what the heck do we present to him? I think we'll press him first to get more information, and then we can present something. But I think we have evidence at this point to break this guy.
Hold it!
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
No, monsieur.
Yes?
Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
And a bit too male.
I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence. Oh, this is where we have to present it then.
Objection!
Objection. You have $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
You guys know you can buy with $500,000?
Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed la monnaie.
This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man.
Take that!
A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. Furio, the head of Tender Lender, a loan company. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong.
The tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to. I had no choice. I carried the body of the unconscious Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tiger.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Maggie looked like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable. Despicable.
Mr. Godot? You will summon this Furio Tiger as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
Let me guess. You already have him here today.
30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more.
How the...
Don't sit back and relax yet, trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. I will resume once Mr. Tiger is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
Okay. Pretty good time to have a personal recess myself. Thank you for the clip, Kiva. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 1. Alright, so... So we basically got the first half of the trial stuff done. We're currently in-game recess for in-game 30 minutes, but I do need a personal recess myself. Gotta rehydrate, use the restroom. Oh yeah, absolutely, Kiva. We'll have more than enough time to get troopers ready. Let's move over to our map. I'll take my intermission, and I will be right back after this commercial or two.